So, summer's coming to Pittsburgh right now, or spring, I guess, but 80 degrees is summer to me.
It feels like summer.
Yeah, and
here
it's
in
hitting me pretty
Virginia.
hard because for two reasons now, I can't really play video games during the day. To bring it to the subject of our show, one of those is that I'm sitting at my PC right now, and right behind it is a massive, like 10-foot window, 10 foot tall. I have no idea how wide it is. It's wider than it is tall, and or maybe it's about square. Anyway, significant amount of glare. Something about the tilt of the Earth's axis or whatever. In the summer, I get glare coming through the window. In the winter, I do not. Like the entire cold season goes by, and I can play as much video games as I want. There's no glare hitting my TV, and there's no sun shining in my eyes when I'm at my desk. Now there is, and the other reason is that one of the advantages of living in a temperate area like Pittsburgh and living in a large concrete building is that I have not run heat or AC in about 2 months now. And I have like a window AC unit I have to put in, like a portable one, in the summer. And I haven't done that yet. And I can mostly get by as long as there is no source of heat in my room. But if I start gaming on my PC, that is enough heat to substantially increase the temperature in here. I played Monster Hunter for like 30 minutes earlier, and it is like noticeably warmer.
You wouldn't think so because your apartment is so tall.
It's
You'd
so
think the heat
huge.
would dissipate pretty well.
Yeah.
And not insulate you. But what do I know?
Well, I have to imagine like it fills up like a
expert.
It fills up throughout the day. So like it's been 80 degrees outside, but all that heat's been at the top. But the second I turn that PC on, it's just a little extra to bring it down.
You might want to like look into blinds or something.
I have blinds
for the glare.
I just like the I like the window being open.
I need to get that my AC wired up because I have a compressor outside, not hooked in.
Yesterday,
neither of you guys are rolling with AC, huh?
No, I have a single window AC unit cooling this entire house in like the living room area.
Yeah.
So
that's about what I'm
currently dying in my office with a fan blowing as much cool air as possible.
Once I hook it up, it works.
Adjust it.
It's just like hooking it up is a pain, and once it's in, it's going to be in all summer. And I don't know. It's going to be 60 degrees in like 2 days, so it's not like hot permanently yet, you know?
It has been 80 plus degrees at times during the day here for the past few days, which I find impressive.
Today's our first 80 degree day, I think, in Pittsburgh. Maybe. That might not be true. I don't know. It's still cool enough in the evening. I have a little window fan that I turn on, and that cools it down plenty for me to sleep at night. So I just haven't been tempted. The other reason I can't close the blinds to reduce the glare is that my cat is I have a cat tower in the window, and she is really enjoying that.
Oh, that wouldn't be fair to them.
Yeah, it would be. So I just don't.
I will say though, I brought up the glares because it was funny editing last week's video. There were several minutes at a time where you both were being just blasted by solar flares.
There is a window right there.
Yeah,
but it's doubly funny because you're both very white, and that coupled with that coupled with the sun blasting on you. Yeah, like Mike right now is just an orb of light.
I actually already have tan lines, like from living.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, you probably have like minor face tans from getting the sun blasted on your face during the show.
I need to invest in a better set of blinds.
I do since moving to Pittsburgh, I spend a decent amount of time outside, even if I don't do an activity or something, just walking around town. So I tan reasonably in the summer. Well, for me, I'm Irish, so I'm darker than I am now in the summer. It's still like pretty
difficult.
Pale.
Yeah. Hey, and welcome back to Game Talk. I'm your host, Sam, and beyond today I'm joined by Connor.
Stop, criminal scum.
And Mike.
Stop, you violated the law.
And by those two Oblivion non-sequiturs, you could probably guess that we are all playing Oblivion. Oblivion got announced and shadow dropped
yesterday.
I think yesterday. Yeah.
It's 2025, and I've never thought I'd hear the words again in my lifetime. We're all playing Oblivion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And it really feels like we're all playing Oblivion. I look on my friends list, everyone's playing Oblivion. There's some like insane concurrent amount on Steam right now.
There's over 100,000, yeah.
Oh
yeah, I think
God.
it was closer to 200K last I checked, and it's not even the weekend yet.
Yeah.
So this worked out beautifully for Bethesda, for Microsoft. Shadow dropping Oblivion.
It
in
is
2025.
It's one of the best games of all time for a reason.
So yeah, let's just talk about Oblivion today. Our limited time so far. With how much time have you guys put into it?
4 hours, maybe
4 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually think I have the most. I think I have around 5. So
Yeah.
I've just been. It's such a comfortable game. I've also been playing it a bit on my Portal in bed.
I get that. Yeah.
Last night, and that was great.
Shout out to it launching on every single platform too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's launched for every single platform. It had PS5 Pro features as well, so they didn't skimp on that.
That's surprising. Okay. So you have ray tracing and everything then?
Well, not ray tracing, no. It's just by
I think it's all
PS5
ray
Pro
tracing.
features, I meant that it's not just the PS5 port. They actually put some effort into the PS5 Pro version. That's not to say though that they fixed all of Oblivion's jank. That's still very much there.
No, it's
just
really
very
weird.
pretty jank.
It's
now.
like a coat of paint over, because it is like every
but I like
asset
it.
is new.
I actually really like that they went down this route rather than getting deep into the bug fixes for the game.
It's funny what they did and didn't fix, because the leveling system is like significantly
They made
changed.
some modernizations, yes.
But like literally like you can watch the character animations change, and it's like that's Oblivion. Like the way they shift between their walk and run cycle is so janky.
I like how they have kept every little imperfection that made Oblivion good while fixing all the annoying things.
Most of the annoying things.
Most of the annoying things.
They did seem to do that. And
me and Amit have both soft blocked already.
Like, I'm walking through an Unreal Engine 5 game where everything's pretty, and then 2 NPCs walk up to each other and have the most stilted, awkward conversation known to man.
It's so funny.
And it's like, this is a perfect game. No other company in the world would let a game release in the modern day with that, because they'd polish it or just cut it.
No, and it's
because
so
we're
based.
scared.
It's so
we're
good.
scared of
it is based
terrible nowadays.
But it's funny because like I'm trying to think back to how I felt much younger when I played the original Oblivion. And I think to my young eyes then, like, yeah, there was jank, but it was also so advanced for its time.
I don't think I saw the jank. Like when I was
having like I don't even know if I saw it, but like things like you said, the NPC dialogue, being able to like glitch up mountains.
That's the other thing
that's still in.
Is this super high fidelity world, and you'll be following a brick road, and that brick road is going up a mountain at like a 75-degree angle or something, like something you would never see in a game today. And it looked fine in the original Oblivion, but it looks so weird now.
It looks weird, but it looks pretty.
It's pretty, yeah, but it looks very silly too.
Like I this is like the topic at hand. Modern AAA games would never have this level of jank in them because they're kind of afraid of it. Like,
yeah,
jank is
I think they should be.
Oblivion.
Like I like Oblivion.
Modern audiences are much less forgiving now of games releasing in a broken state.
I don't think so. Oblivion wasn't even broken. It was just jank. Jank and broken are 2 separate things.
It's a little
that's fair.
Me and Amit both reached point. I had to Google how to progress because one of the NPCs just stopped standing in a courtyard and refused to move. Like that is broken.
And
that
just kept repeating his dialogue.
Yeah, he was like, "We have to storm the courtyard." Like,
dude, I love Oblivion dialogue. It's so dumb.
It's so dumb. They did re-record some lines. I've noticed that the Argonians sound different.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did do some re-recording, but I do love how like most of the voices are just that one dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shout out to that dude.
Shout out to Wes Johnson, hearing him everywhere
is that his
again.
Name?
He's the dude who does all the guards, I do believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the voice I'm thinking of for sure.
So he recently was in the hospital for something. Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
A broken back carrying this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one of the comments you made in our Discord was really interesting to me, Connor. When you said that this game was a lot you forgot how like small the world was.
Yeah, it feels so tiny next to Skyrim.
As a kid,
it felt infinite.
I felt like exactly. Yeah. I felt like it was infinitely large. But coming back to it now as like a 31-year-old man, it's and especially juxtaposing it with modern open world games, it's so tiny.
Yeah,
but I love that. I love that so much coming back to it because it feels manageable and cozy.
They haven't had the scope creep of modern day open worlds where you have these big spaces with really nothing in them.
You are just guaranteed. Yeah, you can't walk 3 minutes in the woods in this game without coming across a dungeon or something.
Yeah, there's always something interesting just around the corner, and that's something Oblivion, even as an early open world game, got so right.
So right.
Yeah.
Like, even small towns that you explore, there's, they're packed with little quests, and even the little quests are interesting. There's no quest that feels tedious so far to me.
I will say it's funny. Well, I've only done the story quests. I actually like picked this up and I decided I would play it as if I had no idea what was going on. That is how I'm trying to play it. And so I've just been following the story until something distracts me from it. And I actually have not run into anything except the story so far. It's been kind of weird.
How far into the story are you?
I just got the 4th book about the Mythic Dawn. You're in the Imperial City and you're having to work with Boris, I think is his name, to hunt down these 4 books so that you can use them to determine
you're further than I am.
The location of the cult of the Mythic Dawn.
Yeah, I mean, I followed the main story for a little bit. Like, I took the 2 dudes to, gosh, I'm so bad with names. The place at the top of the mountain.
Cloud Ruler Temple. Yeah.
Cloud Ruler Temple. Yeah, I took them to Cloud Ruler Temple.
Yeah.
I remember this game way better than I thought.
Yeah, I actually don't, which I find surprising. Like, so in that sense, it feels good to almost, like, forget everything.
Yeah,
but,
it's almost like, it's almost a new Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost, yeah. And then I just kind of, like, went away and I was like, all right, I'm going to this sounds like a good break-off point. I'm just going to explore around, and immediately I found a lot of side quests that were interesting. And I did start the Dark Brotherhood quest line, which is always
of course
it's a treat. I beeline straight for the Fighters Guild quest line.
I think I'm gonna start the arena in the Imperial City tonight.
That's so pretty.
Yeah. I really like. I just really like Cyrodiil. I think it's very pretty. I will say, from a design perspective, it feels designed for fast travel because it is like this weird hub and spoke system where all of the roads go from Cyrodiil to one other town, and if you are in a town, or not from Cyrodiil, from the Imperial City. Does the Imperial City have a name?
Yeah, it's called the Imperial City.
Okay.
It is just Imperial City.
And like, if you want, I think Anvil and Kvatch might be along the same road, but also Kvatch is gone. So Kvatch is not really a city in the game. So really, every road goes to one city.
I think like Skingrad, Kvatch, and everything kind of branch off of one road. I do believe.
Okay. But I know, like, I was up in Wayland Prior, I think it was called, and I needed to get to Kvatch. And there's really, unless you just want to bushwhack and, like, go up a 90-degree mountain, there's no good way to do that.
Which you can do.
Absolutely.
And I love that they kept that in the game where I'm just, by the way, like, I'm also constantly sneaking and jumping to level up my sneak and my acrobatics, which is also hilarious. But, like, if you go up a cliff and just mash, triangle or Y, you're going to scale that cliff and also level up your acrobatics in the process. And I love that that's untouched.
It is kind of a hub and spoke, but there are a couple cities that are on the route. Yeah. Skingrad, Anvil, and Kvatch are all on one road.
Okay.
Yeah.
But again, Kvatch is like not really a place anymore. It gets destroyed the second you see it.
Coral, Bruma, and Shadenhall are all kind of spoked out, but Bravel and Leowin are also on the same road. Then there's roads between the cities. It's not like as direct as it feels sometimes.
Yeah. It's I kind
really
of video
like
gamey.
The map though. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fine, especially because you can in Skyrim, I would say that there's a good reason to not fast travel, and I feel that less in Oblivion. I don't feel like I'm missing anything when I fast travel in Oblivion.
I like Oblivion city designs too.
Yeah.
Like I still like to unless it's on a route I've already been on, I do like walking to places. Like, I'm not gonna fast travel somewhere I've never, like, been. And, like, there are all the major, I think, hubs you can fast travel to right out the gate. And I don't know if that was the case in the original.
I think it was. You could, as soon as you walk out of that jail, you can go to whatever city you want.
Yep.
You mean like fast travel?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You didn't have to discover the cities like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing I don't remember compared to the original, do they have that, like, guidance spell that points you in the right?
No.
That's
Clairvoyance. Yeah. I think that's a good add.
I find that really useful because I do remember something. As a kid, I get lost in Oblivion's caves and dungeons.
Yeah.
And, like, it would be kind of a struggle for me to get out. But now with clairvoyance, it's so easy.
Yeah.
And I think that's a brilliant addition if that wasn't in the original.
Speaking on Oblivion, I really like their city design because every city feels real, I want to say.
I kind of agree, yeah.
Like, it feels like a city people would live in rather than a city built for the convenience of a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they each have their own kind of thing going on, like their own, there's several quests, like, tucked away in each town.
I had a fun little thing happen to me. I was doing a quest in the sewers in the Imperial City. And I'm playing a purple Argonian named Spyro, who is
that's brilliant,
kind of a thief kind of thing going on. I took the star sign that lets you turn invisible once a day, and I couldn't find my way out of the sewers. I was like all turned around, but I found an exit that told me I would be trespassing inside a guy's house. Like I guess I crawled up through a guy's toilet.
Yeah,
and,
so funny.
I used my little invisibility spell and just snuck out the door of this guy's house because it was the only way I could find.
I like how there's some sections of Imperial City that you won't even visit in a playthrough. Like, it's so crazy how there are so many places you'll just pass through.
I remember I forget why I was even doing it, but I like decided my mission was to break into the guards barracks in Imperial City as a kid, and that was actually like a tricky challenge to me. I don't know if it would be now. You know, I was like 12 or 13, I think, playing this game the first time, so I don't remember that well.
I do think I'm much better at the lockpicking minigame now than I was.
The lockpicking minigame just makes sense.
I like
what still doesn't really make sense is the persuasion minigame.
Same persuasion minigame.
Do either of you guys understand?
I'm actually an expert at the persuasion minigame.
I remember not really understanding that as a kid, and now as an adult, I'm like, what the hell is going on?
It's easier now. They've made it easier because you can actually read the facial expressions.
Yeah.
It was way harder back then.
It was hard to tell if they were angry or happy. You could just tell they were feeling something extreme.
Yeah, something was happening.
No, the faces look much better now, obviously. They couldn't have gotten worse.
They do, but I still love that, like, it's still the, like, zoom into their face, and then they have, like, like a happy expression or a sad expression. There's not, like, dynamism there, but I love it. I love the...
I love how immersive it feels.
Okay.
I don't know if immersive in the sense that it feels like the original, I think.
Every time I try to talk to someone in real life, it zooms in, I see the wheel pop up.
Yeah.
And then
that explains so much about talking to you.
Yeah.
That explains why you insult me every 3 words when we're talking.
Yeah.
So, Connor, you mentioned you were an Argonian named Spyro.
Yeah.
I tried to make my character as close to what I remember what I did as a kid. So I made a dark elf, and I made my own custom class.
Oh.
And I thought I chose the invisibility one, but like apparently I just chose wrong. And I have the one that like gives me more magic affinity, but makes me more vulnerable to magic, which is not what I wanted.
No.
But oh well, you can't really change that. What about you, Mike? Yeah,
I'm actually playing a Red Guard warrior.
Okay.
Or no, it's a knight. I just went with my traditional sword and shield class. I think I'm using an axe, actually.
You've played Oblivion in the past year, haven't you, Mike?
Oh, yes. I think I was playing as an orc.
Okay. I've only ever played as an Argonian.
Sword and shield.
I got 40 hours in the original. All of that is as an Argonian, and like no real class identity. I used magic. I used a sword. I snuck around a lot.
And that's one thing I really love about the Elder Scrolls games is that you're not shackled by a class, really.
I think my original playthrough was with an Argonian, and then I did a second playthrough as an Imperial, I think. And I might have done a Redguard playthrough at some point. I don't remember.
Playing in Argonian has a lot more value in Oblivion than it does in Skyrim.
Because there's more water.
Yeah, there's so much more water. I remember all the time luring enemies into the water so that I would have an advantage against them because they couldn't breathe underwater and I could.
Yeah.
And you could fight underwater in Oblivion that you can't do in Skyrim for some reason.
Really? I didn't remember that. I mean, I remember that you can in Oblivion. I didn't remember that you can't in Skyrim.
Yeah.
It's so jank. Well, it's not. It's just goofy when you dive into the water in Oblivion and you have your sword and a shield out and you're like swimming.
Breaststroke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strong legs.
So what do you guys think of the so the way they did this game is actually really weird. It's like game logic wise, it's the original engine with like pretty modest changes, some modernization, but then it is using Unreal Engine 5 with all of the bells and whistles that comes with to do all of the rendering. On PC, that includes an option to do hardware ray tracing or software-based ray tracing.
Good.
There is no option, I don't think, to turn Lumen off completely. I think you have to do one of those ray traced solutions. So I assume on console it's the same. You're getting either.
I think on console there's no ray tracing.
I find that hard to believe because Lumen is.
Yeah.
It's probably software Lumen ray tracing. I find it very hard to believe that it's not from the footage I've seen.
I want to touch on performance issues before we dive into like this.
I was gonna get there
too. There definitely are. So there are on PC as well.
There are, but at the same time, I think it's because a lot of PC people are not willing to adapt. Just turning on DLSS.
Well, it's more complicated. This is a really good FSR implementation, for instance, but a pretty poor FSR frame gen implementation. When I was playing on controller, it didn't bother me really. It felt, I could tell, but it's an Elder Scrolls game. It's not exactly a Twitch shooter or anything. But I played on keyboard and mouse for a little bit, and it felt like dragging my mouse through mud. It was so weird with frame gen on, so I had to turn that off when I was playing on my keyboard. And beyond that, I found it very hard to tune the settings to what I wanted, because indoors the performance is excellent. Like locked max frame rate on my monitor, whatever, even with like the max ray tracing, I'm doing really well with it.
Indoors is great.
And indoors is where I wanted the ray tracing, because that's where you're seeing it the most. It's the fires flickering off the walls. It's all of that. That's where I want to see the ray tracing. When I'm outside, I don't want it so much. But when I'm outside, it also performs really bad. And so I kind of wish there was like an indoor settings versus outdoor settings that I could do, but there is not.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of having to... And outdoors, like, just moment to moment, the performance fluctuates wildly. Like one minute I'm like at 120, and it seems to be like for almost no reason. Suddenly I'm dropping down all the way to 60, and
yeah, it's fluctuating for me too. But then again, it is UE5, and I said it last night on stream because I was streaming for a little bit. The fact that we're gonna talk about using Oblivion as a benchmarking game for the next like 5 to 6 years is the wildest thing. If you would have told me 5 years ago that people would be using Oblivion as a PC performance benchmark, I'd tell you were stupid.
But it's not like the performance is bad. There's just like a ton of room for improvement, I think.
Yeah. And it's similar on console. On PS5, like you said, outdoors the frame rate fluctuates wildly. And there is this one thing in the Imperial City, whenever you change like wards or whatever, like go from one location to the next, it seems like the game loads before all the textures load.
Yep.
So like very brief, that happens on PC too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So very briefly, it looks like the original Oblivion before
and it's one of those things,
new textures roll.
Monster Hunter does this too every once in a while to me, and it's one of those things where it's like we've essentially eliminated loading screens, but like at what cost? Because I would not have minded waiting.
Yeah, just wait like 3 or 4 more seconds.
Yeah, 3 or 4 seconds longer so that I don't see this weird half-loaded mess.
We're so obsessed with M.2 loading speeds.
Yeah.
But at what cost? Like, we're loading it faster than the graphics card can render it. And we've created the same problem we've had.
That seems like what's happening.
Yeah.
I guess we don't know for sure.
It's probably a direct storage
It seems
thing.
that way.
Like it's the CPU stuff is loaded in fully, but not everything is loaded into VRAM.
Like
maybe
the engine, the engine recognizes that everything that it needs to run is loaded, but the VRAM's not loaded properly yet.
Yeah,
which
it's still
it happens.
Minor complaint, like really not that big a deal.
Yeah, and also like it sounds unfair, but it's true. A lot of this in my head just gets shelved away as Oblivion jank, and I forgive it.
Yeah, 100%.
By virtue of it being Oblivion, I'm way more tolerant to performance issues, which in a fair world that shouldn't be true, but
it
sorry,
feels
it is
a
true.
little like I just installed a bunch of mods and like, it's a little janky, but it slap the side, it's running.
Yeah,
it's running, it works.
Also, we're already getting mods for this on PC.
There's no creation kit though, what I've heard.
No, there's not going to be any official mod support, but because it is so similar to the original Oblivion on the back end, I wonder how many of those mods are going to come easy.
Someone's going to upport the Oblivion creation kit, I guarantee you.
Maybe. I didn't know there was an Oblivion creation kit.
There is. I don't think it's called creation kit, but it does have a set of tools.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think there's not going to be any modding on console as far as I know. That's just not coming.
Yeah.
But
I give the PC, because it uses the same file structure and everything. It is just the game and UE, and that's it.
Yeah, so I don't know who did the port job. It wasn't Bethesda,
it was Virtuous.
Virtuous, yeah.
Which is
they did a fantastic job. Because I think they understood the assignment, right? Like, they kept what makes Oblivion while making it modern, which I think is kind of a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
Because, like, I think your instinct, if you were tasked with this, would be to have a bunch of bug fixes, reduce a lot of the jank. And if you did that, it would not be Oblivion anymore, I think.
Yeah, part of the charm of these older games, and this might sound like I'm apologizing, is their jank. No one remembers like the perfect parts of Oblivion.
Oh, I have
Everyone remembers how janky and experimental and pushing the boundaries of gaming at the time it was.
I want to talk UI for a second. Ahmed, when you are on the map, does a little mouse cursor show up when you're selecting, or have you even used the map?
Yeah, it does.
It's a mouse cursor. That's so funny. Yeah, it is. Like, because I overall, I think this is the best UI in an Elder Scrolls game yet. Because I think the Skyrim UI is infamously terrible, and the original Oblivion UI was like,
it was.
Was it quick? The quick menu was not in the original Oblivion, was it?
I don't know. I played on PC,
shortcuts?
and I know you could use your.
It did have shortcuts, I do believe.
Where you had like a little wheel where you could load.
I don't think the wheel was in there, but I think it had shortcuts.
Okay.
Did you play Oblivion on console, Mike?
I played on both, actually. Xbox and PC.
I only played it on PC, and I know you could
Xbox and then back to PC.
I know you could hotkey stuff to the number keys on PC.
Yeah,
I actually really want to play this with a keyboard and mouse, but certain things about it feel better on a controller. I'm still really mixed on it.
Also, they improved the third-person animations.
Yes,
I hear the game's actually playable from third person now.
I've gone into third person on accident a few times, and yeah, it's fine, but I'm not.
These games are always first person to me.
Yeah,
and I do strongly appreciate the fact that they have like that FOV slider now.
Yes,
but I am still like, I tried it at a much wider FOV, but I went back to the original very limited. I think it's like 75. FOV.
Yeah. I can't
because that's what Oblivion feels like to me.
I can't even look at a game under 90 FOV. It's wrong to me. I can't do it.
I tried it and I was like, this is objectively better, but for nostalgia reasons, I'm going back.
Yeah.
Everything is flawed, but it's flawed because it's Oblivion.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a lot of complaints. I'm excited to dive into some of the quests I remember. Thieves Guild especially.
Yeah, I'm excited for Thieves Guild. Thieves Guild's gonna be
remember so little about it, other than liking it, and like the Boots of Spring Heel Jack, which are the most iconic video game item, other than like maybe the mushroom in Mario to me.
And I like how they've patched out all the glitches that we used to exploit, though.
Oh, have they?
I tested it. They don't paintbrushes don't float. So that's gone, unfortunately. And the scroll duplication glitch is gone. So
I never used those. If I wanted more items, I just used the console. This was the first game I ever played that I like abused console commands.
Yeah, I abused the scroll duplication glitch a little bit on console. It was just convenient.
Yeah.
It was fun flooding the cities with grapes.
One thing I'm really excited for, because I've realized now that I'm revisiting this, is that I don't think I ever played the Shivering Isles.
Oh my god, you are in for such a treat.
So pretty.
That'll be new Oblivion content for me.
Have they showed any Shivering Isles at all in the remaster?
They showed Sheogorath in the trailer.
So, I remember that place being stunningly beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I haven't.
So I'm excited to get there.
I'm not gonna go there for a long time. My favorite sword is in the Shivering Isles. There's like, it's one of the better stories. It's one of the things I was thinking of the whole time I played Skyrim, which maybe isn't fair because the DLC stories might get a little more time than the main game. But there was just a side quest I did about these 3 people that went in a cave, and a guy had a sword that is like, it's a different weapon at night than it is during the day.
Oh, I love that sword.
Yeah, and you like have to kill someone with it during the day to make it more powerful at night. And then you have to kill someone that night to make it more powerful during the day. And so you have to kill someone every 12 hours to keep the sword fed.
Duskfang, Dawnfang.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I loved that thing. And I think
I just liked how it converted weapons every 12 hours.
Yeah, I loved that. I always played a vampire when I was a kid because I thought they were so cool.
I was wondering, the vampire stuff is in... I couldn't remember if it was in Skyrim or Oblivion.
It's in both.
It's in both.
These vampires are different than the Skyrim ones because you take sun damage. Yeah. Once you reach like higher stages of vampirism, you take sun damage. I don't know if the bugs in the game where if you're taking damage when you autosave, the save corrupts.
Oh no.
I had that happen to me in the original Oblivion.
This game autosaves constantly though.
Yeah, it autosaves constantly.
And that's
real nice.
Very welcome.
Yeah.
Because wasn't always like that.
It was on PC.
From what I remember.
You could quick save by hitting F5 at any time on PC, so I was just like smacking that button.
Really nice having an Oblivion that doesn't have a lot of like the corruption issues and problems that the original Oblivion had.
Oh, right, on console.
Yeah, that's a welcome that jank was not welcome.
Yeah. There's some of the bad jank was fixed, but everything that was funny is still there.
The leveling system, I'm not even familiar with this because I was too bad at the game to ever really engage. Like I never slept in a bed on my original playthrough. I just didn't know that you had to do that to level up. I didn't read that prompt or whatever. And I just
the help tab on the menu is very helpful.
Yes.
It explains all the old and new mechanics very well. So and I do wonder, like I've been thinking about this. This game is a hit for people like within our age range.
Yeah.
Like, are people who have never played Oblivion picking this game up? And if they do, like,
I hope so.
I wonder what they think about it, right? Because like, it is jank, and that's part of the charm. But will someone who isn't kind of blinded by nostalgia find it charming?
I'm excited.
Or will they be annoyed by it?
My buddy Tyler never played Oblivion because he couldn't stand the faces, and he's playing it now. He'd played Morrowind. He'd played Morrowind and Skyrim. He couldn't stand Oblivion.
Oh, that's interesting.
He couldn't stand how it looked. So I'm really excited to hear what he thinks.
Like, Oblivion's one of those games that inspired a lot of people. Like, the Kingdom Come games were built because he wanted to make Oblivion without all the bad parts of Oblivion.
That came out like around the same time as Skyrim, too, didn't it?
Kingdom Come one was...
a long time ago.
A long time, like 2016, 2015.
Oh, okay.
It was a little bit after Skyrim.
4 years.
I'm thinking of Kingdoms of Amalur for some reason.
Kingdom Come 2 just came out.
Yeah, I hear it's good too.
I think.
I hear it's very good.
But yeah, everyone's been chasing Oblivion for so long.
I'm almost interested, like, younger people, how they react to this game, because I think that's an interesting like window into where gaming might be headed. Almost.
Hopefully, we see it in our TikTok comments.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I hope if younger people pick up this game and really run with it, it'll cause a shift away from the oversimplification of gaming and back into like games just requiring you to think a little bit. Because most modern Bethesda games kind of sand off all the raggedy elements.
I mean, I also one thing
I do get what you're saying. The quests aren't black and white really in this game.
No,
and I do appreciate that a lot.
I've been experiencing it a little bit, like the younger generations and everything.
Yeah. One quest I did right before we recorded, actually. I'm so bad with names again. I forget which town this was in, but like, I went into this house, and this wife, she was like angrily, like casting spells in a corner, and I was just like, "Hey, what's up?" And she was like, "Oh, me and my husband were thieves, and he's in jail now because he like went crazy and stole too much, and then I was afraid for my life and whatever. So I went to the prison. He wouldn't talk to me because he thought I was a narc. So I got myself in jail, and then he talked to me, and he was just like, yeah, she's crazy, she set me up, and I'm in jail because of her now. So they're both basically pointing the finger at each other, and you don't know who's telling the truth. And he's like, if you kill her for me, I'll tell you where the gold is stashed or whatever. And then I go to her with this knowledge, and she's like, don't kill me, just take my amulet as proof of my death, and we can split the gold 50-50. So at all these points, there's kind of like decisions you can make, like who to trust, who not to trust, whether to take the full gold or not take all the gold. What I ended up doing is that I agreed with her, gave the guy the amulet, got the gold location. Turns out a guard overheard him telling me where the gold was. He was already there to steal the gold, so I had to kill the guard, and then I got all the gold. But it turns out the guard had already killed her after he overheard me talking. So it was like this whole thing. I don't know how many permutations that could have taken.
That's
but
good.
I just found it. I found it a fun quest.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It was just a little side quest.
There's a lot of quests like that in Oblivion, and I don't know. I've noticed it with some of the younger people that I've interacted with, but they kind of tend to just want a solution presented to them without really thinking about it. Like, I've watched my girlfriend play through The Witcher, and she's a little younger than me. And she Googles every single decision to see if she's making the right one. I'm like, just
that's so lame.
make the decision. Just you're Geralt, make your decision.
You gotta live with it.
I agree that's lame, but I also, to come to her defense a little bit, in a game like The Witcher 3, I get it because everything is so consequential and comes back later.
Or she'll come and say, what should I say here? What should I say here? What do you think your Geralt would do? Think like your character.
Yeah.
Oblivion kind of requires you to think like your character to make these decisions.
Oblivion's never going to punish you for anything.
Yeah, it's never going to punish you for it.
Yeah. It's just it takes you down varying interesting paths. And I really like that about this game. And like games of that ilk in general that are kind of less common now.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to see quests like this in, and I don't want to rag on it, but like, Assassin's Creed Shadows or whatever.
Yeah,
that's a great game, but you're not going to see like complex side quests like this.
So while we're on the topic, did you guys see the ex-Blizzard quote? The ex-head of Blizzard, I guess, had a quote that...
Hold on.
Did you see this, Mike?
Yes, I remember seeing it. Was it Mike Ybarra?
I forget his name.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
But he was saying essentially like an Oblivion remaster cannot stand in a modern age next to a masterpiece like Elden Ring. And I actually agree with that for the most part, like 100%. This just isn't as good as Elden Ring. But
yeah, I mean,
it
like
doesn't have to be.
If this game had come out
really
in the same year
it's like
as Elden Ring, like obviously Elden Ring's a better game, I think.
I mean, this is not in the Game of the Year discussion.
Cares?
It's a $50 remaster of an ancient game that I'm just gonna have some fun with for a while. It didn't have to be...
I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah, it didn't have to be the best game
It feels like comfort
ever made.
food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It is absolutely a comfort food. It'll be something I come back to for a while, I bet, when I just like don't have another game to play and I just want to zone out.
It's kind of the old quote, good art is timeless. Yeah. And that's what Oblivion is. Oblivion's good art. It's a game that people will continue to come back to, and I'm glad it's now more accessible than ever because it's just good. It's good art.
Especially because until now, I felt like Oblivion was always sort of in the shadow of Skyrim.
Yeah.
And I think now people are going to give it more of a fair shake because Skyrim was the one that went ultra popular, ultra viral.
Yeah.
That everyone played.
Yeah.
And a lot of people had played Skyrim, but not Oblivion. So I really think that this is going to give Oblivion kind of its time in the limelight that it deserves, that it might not have gotten back in the day.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I also... I will say the release strategy on this one's a little weird because I feel like this deserved more hype than it got. Like the shadow drop.
I mean, it's working for them.
Yeah,
though.
it worked.
It's selling gangbusters.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with results. I, for my own experience, would not have minded being hyped for this for a week or two.
I think
I was hyped for the announcement.
Yeah, but
well, it was one of those like worst kept secrets.
Yeah, we'd known for over a year.
Right? Like everyone. Like even slightly in tune with the industry knew that this was coming, but like I think this kind of strategy can't work for every game.
No,
like they tried this with Hi-Fi Rush, and like while it was a good game, it performed abysmally.
Oh really? I thought it did okay
in terms of sales. No, I mean Tango Gameworks was shut down afterwards.
I know, but I didn't think it had anything to do with sales.
They came back.
It is
didn't sell
outperforming
fantastically.
Claire Obscure Expedition 33 though.
Well, yeah, that game just picked a bad time to come out.
Yeah,
honestly.
well, you can't pick a time when they just shadow drop it.
Yeah, it was tough.
But like, what my point was that like a game that's already a known quantity will do well with a strategy like this. Like people, even if you've not played Oblivion, you know what Oblivion is.
Yeah,
right.
We've seen the
you know what Elder
for
Scrolls
so long.
Is. So it's not going to work for everything, but for a game like Oblivion, this was a brilliant strategy. I think. And I'm curious to see what the PC concurrent gets up to on the weekend, because it's already doing crazy numbers on a weekday.
On a Tuesday launch.
It
is the number one seller on Steam right now.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Which, not surprising.
It's just fun, man. It is. I don't know. It's Oblivion.
It's probably a Game Pass performer too, right?
That's where I'm playing it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm playing it on Game Pass as well.
Yeah, and I love that it is everywhere at once, right? Like, Microsoft made that decision to shift their strategy, I think, early last year, and I think it's paying off for them in terms of sales. Like, if you're a console warrior, it's not paying off, but like, whatever.
Steam Deck verified too.
Yeah, they're launching everywhere, launching and being like PS5 Pro supported, even because that's such a niche. But they're still like I'm honestly supported that version as well. I'm impressed.
I'm really surprised we haven't heard anything about the Switch 2 for it.
Yeah, it's almost certainly coming to Switch 2.
It has to, because I mean, it's Steam Deck verified, and the Switch 2 is almost certainly more powerful than the Steam Deck. It's kind of hard to compare; they're very different platforms. But generally, if it runs on the Steam Deck, I would expect it to run on the Switch 2, and this apparently runs quite well on the Steam Deck.
And Switch 2. Kind of a side note, but you also have DLSS on the Switch too,
right?
Which apparently is good. I don't know if there's like some custom sauce happening with the DLSS, but like Digital Foundry looked at Street Fighter, on the Switch 2, native rendering resolution of 540p, DLSS up to 1080p, and they said it was remarkably clean image quality.
That's very impressive.
Well, because as we know, DLSS.
It struggles below 720p pretty hard.
Right, like you need an HD image at the very least for it to do its magic. But with these kinds of results, like I think a lot of things are possible, especially on that console.
You're on this supports DLSS, right, Mike? You're on NVIDIA?
Yes, it does.
Okay. See, I have like grayed out options for XeSS that I'm not using. I was kind of surprised not to see a grayed out option for DLSS, but I guess it just doesn't show it all on AMD. Does it have frame gen?
I do believe I don't have a frame gen.
Oh, you don't have a frame gen card. Okay, it's not that important. I was just curious.
Yeah, well, the point being, it seems like well supported for all platforms right out of the gate.
Yeah,
so you love to see it.
Yeah, it has FSR4. I can't do it, but it has it.
Yeah, I mean this thing's been. I bet this thing's been ready for a long time. They were just waiting for time to release it.
But why would they choose now? I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe to tide us over. I don't know.
Well, we just got like Game Pass didn't need a game because it has Claire Obscure, Expedition 33 coming. That's a Game Pass day one.
Yeah.
So the release timing's a little strange.
In some sense, yeah, it is a little strange because they sabotaged another one of
their own studio. I think
what could have been a higher performer. No, I think Claire Obscure is a third-party game. It's not.
Okay.
It's not an.
It's been heavily marketed by Xbox though.
Yeah.
I do really like though Oblivion's origin system that they added now.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it's new. I don't know if they added that to get rid of the old male-female stat differences.
Probably. Yeah.
They also renamed the body types, and some people online are getting angry.
Oh my
at that,
god, Oblivion was always so woke. It's such an insane.
It was always woke.
It was already so woke.
It's so wild how you can change 2 words in a character select screen, and people will just start foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Get a real.
It's almost like whatever.
It's almost like those people are morons.
Yeah,
it's like find something productive to get angry.
You could
about.
get angry at
it's a little tiring
in this
at this
world,
point.
but you get angry at 2 words that have been changed.
Type 1, Type 2.
Type 1, Type 2. Like I could tell the difference between the body types.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal. It's fine.
I do want to share another fun little anecdote. So I mentioned earlier that I already joined the Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah.
in my limited time with this game, and it wasn't intentional actually. So during the siege of Kvatch,
oh no,
when you're storming all the little gremlins, I charged up my claymore, and I accidentally hit a guard and just killed him like completely, and I was like, well.
I hit him
sucks.
a few times. I didn't kill anybody
Yeah.
though.
No, he was dead.
That's a classic Oblivion moment.
It's funny because like if this was in the middle of a city, obviously all the guards would have been on me.
Yeah.
But like since this was the middle of a battle, people were just like, oh,
happens.
Some of the goblins got him or whatever. But yeah, he was dead. And then I went to bed that night, like right outside, like the because like the siege wasn't over. Like you had to like regroup and then like do whatever. It's funny. So like all the people were like in the room just waiting for me to say I'm ready. I slept in the bedroll there, and the Dark Brotherhood dude showed up.
That's so
like in plain view of everyone in that room.
That's so funny.
And just had an extremely long conversation with me about like killing more people.
That's so
and like
Oblivion.
Joining their cult for killing people in front of all these guards.
And then they call you the hero of Kvatch for the rest of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was so funny.
I was right. The origin system is just getting rid of the old gender differences in stats.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's a clever solution.
Yeah, it's such a great solution because it was kind of stupid anyway.
It was, yeah.
It was just a dated mechanic. Like, I don't mind it. I like being able to play a more persuasive red guard.
Yeah.
But,
so
yeah, not a big problem.
You guys have any fun anecdotes to share yet? Or are you still too early?
I'm still too early.
Yeah, I'm early. I'm excited. I don't think I ever closed a second Oblivion gate in my 40 hours as a kid. I just ducked the main story completely.
I'm literally, that's where
Oblivion.
I left off.
You're going,
dear.
I'm on my second gate already.
Wow. I don't even know where any more are because they're not marked on my map. I don't think I had to just.
Well,
find
it's
them.
funny because like for the Dark Brotherhood quest line, like near the very beginning, you have to go like where like the first dude you're assigned to kill. You have to go to this inn to kill him, and literally right beside the inn is this massive hell gate, which also is so jank. Like I walk in there and I talk to them. No one mentions the gate to hell right outside their little inn.
Did the Oblivion
where demons are just spewing out? I was just like, that's such an Oblivion thing.
The Oblivion gates are also nothing. This is just like a false memory of mine, but they're nothing like I remember. I remembered the Oblivion gate like literally. I remember Kvatch being a crater. And, like, the entire city was in Oblivion now, and that's not what happens at all. There's an Oblivion gate outside with a little base.
Yeah, I think you're misremembering this.
I am. I'm 100% misremembering, yeah. And that's funny. But that's the other thing. When you play a remake, you often, like, the thing people say is that you want the game to look how people remember it looking. And that is not my experience with this at all. I remember Oblivion being ugly as sin, and this looks really good.
This looks really good.
Yeah, that's kind of
maybe
funny
a sneak preview of what Elder Scrolls 6 could look like.
You wish.
In some ways.
And
where like, but I was just looking at the map, right? And it's interesting because to the north you have Skyrim, to the east, you have Morrowind, and then like to the northwest you have Daggerfall. And when I look down, I see Elsewhere and Black Marsh. I'm like, surely Elder Scrolls 6 is in one of those two places, right?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
Yes. Probably.
We don't know yet.
Marsh, but Black Marsh isn't that interesting of a location because it is just a big swamp with living trees.
Elsewhere could be cool.
Elsewhere would be cool. I think they're thinking Somerset Isles.
We've been there though, haven't we?
Maybe.
I thought there was a Morrowind DLC in the Somerset Isles or something.
No, the Tribunal was not Somerset. Hold on.
Speaking of Morrowind, that's what I want to see next.
Morrowind can't be a remaster though. Morrowind
it would have to be a remake.
Because I've played Morrowind and it is I actually don't think it's aged as poorly as Oblivion had, kind of. Mechanically it's aged pretty rough. Like it has a thing that I hate in video games, which is like if you're an action RPG, if I see the sword hit the enemy, you have to give me the hit, and Morrowind does not give you the hit. Morrowind will
that's
do a dice roll for whether you missed or not after, and I hate that. I hate that. That's like the only thing I couldn't stand about Morrowind, though. I thought it was really cool, but it
might be Hammerfall or High Rock.
Oh yeah, but Morrowind, it's so foggy, and that makes sense for the region, but it's so foggy and it's so flat, and that doesn't work with modern graphics. Modern modern graphics, you expect a little less flatness. You expect to be able to see a little further, or at least make the fog look really nice. It was like they were working around the technical limitations, and they did a masterful job of it. But so much would have to change for it to work in a modern game.
Yeah.
But I hope they keep the magic system, because Morrowind has the most fascinating magic system maybe in any game other than Noita.
I have not played Morrowind. I've seen it been like played in front of me a little bit, but I've not played it. So I would very much love to play it. It's updated Morrowind.
It's pretty fun.
And yeah, it's just like I hope Elder Scrolls 6 is very good, because like it is one of those things where you revisit this game and you're like, yeah, Bethesda had the magic touch back in the day.
They weren't washed
like no
back
doubt
then.
about that. No doubt. Like they were fantastic. They were pioneers, but I don't know.
So rumor has it,
if they still have it,
Fallout 3 might be getting this treatment next, is the rumor I've heard.
I could hope.
Oh yeah, Mike's a big Fallout guy.
I've never played it.
I always skewed way more towards Elder Scrolls.
Me too.
Than
I don't
Fallout,
like I don't like guns and RPGs together typically, but I would give Fallout 3 a chance. I think if
Fallout 3 is the one Fallout game I played
and
like beginning to end, and I enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I know people are going to be mad that it's this big game and a waste of space or whatever on these remasters. You can just play the original game. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Oblivion's still on sale.
Yeah,
it is crazy how Oblivion is 120 gigs though. That's wild. It's like one of the biggest games on my hard drive.
Oblivion Game of the Year is still on the store.
Yeah,
and it is $15. If you really, really hate what they did in the remaster,
no, and if you're like strapped for cash and you want to be part of the movement, like my buddy Ed, your brother Mike is like always playing original Oblivion, and like the remaster is not different enough from the original that like if you want to take part in this hype cycle, you could absolutely play. It's
basically a pretty coat of paint.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, I'm having a blast with this game. I'm gonna keep playing it, and I think it came out at a great time because like I was just basically wrapping up my time with Blueprints, and I was like, "What do I play next?" And then this just fell out of heaven, and I was just like,
"I needed it too," because I was like, Well, I got a lot to say about Blueprints when we get to games I've been playing.
Shall we? Or do we have anything else to say about Oblivion other than how great it is?
For the good of the order.
And our childhood selves were
anything
entirely right in loving this game and putting it over. I think all three of us put Oblivion over Skyrim, and I think that decision is justified.
A lot of people would disagree, but I do think Oblivion is one of the best Elder Scrolls games. It was that happy middle ground between being sanded off and
100%.
Not jank and complete jank and needs substantial mechanic reworks.
Yeah.
So Blueprints.
Yeah, let's talk about Blueprints.
I got to the point with this game. I actually went a day or two without playing video games at all because I would like start to turn on my PC and I would think of the thought of doing another billiards room puzzle or another parlor room puzzle, and it made me sick to my stomach.
I think we hit the nail on the head last week where I was like, there is this equilibrium that the more you play, the less appealing it'll be.
Yeah.
Because like the mysteries can't sustain you forever. Like they like, to be fair, they did a great job for a very long time, and there's a lot of mysteries, but like you can't have infinite mysteries, and eventually
did you solve them all?
It's not going to be as enticing. No, I think I'm not even as far as you are. I don't think. So I have like 39 hours in the game.
I found 7 of presumably 8 red letters, and I did.
Yeah, I have 6 red letters.
6 of 8 Sanctum keys. I know where the 7th is, but I'm never going to get the RNG for it.
Okay, I also have 6 of 8 Sanctum keys.
And I did 4 of 8 sigils.
So, okay, we're already kind of talking spoilers. So, like, spoiler warning for Blueprints going forward, just because I think that's where we are with this game, so we need to talk spoilers. But, yeah, so which sigil keys are you missing?
There's only one that I'm missing that you can get that I know of, and it's the one, I got the music room.
Is it the room 8 one?
No, I didn't know there was one. I don't think there is one in room 8.
Oh, I thought like one of the like the puzzle says something about room 8, so I assumed it was tied to room 8.
I solved
which
room
made me
8
mad because I solved room 8 and I didn't get the key, which means I have to get it to spawn again.
It's the vault. The vault is the one I don't have.
Okay, that was like the first one I got.
Well, it's pure RNG. Like, you're not guaranteed to get that key. You have to get the key and the vault. And the thought of doing the number of runs, it's probably like under 10 runs if I was focusing it, but the thought of doing 10 runs with no progress is like hell to me.
Yeah, that's a lot to ask.
I don't want to do it.
That is a lot to ask, yeah.
And I also, like, I don't know enough about Cyrodiil yet to solve that sigil, and I don't know enough about... I don't think it's Nuance. No, it is. It's Nuance, I think, is the other one I have. And I don't know enough about Nuance yet. I know a good bit about Nuance. I could probably deduce it, but it's like...
Yeah.
The juice just is suddenly not worth the squeeze anymore. The moment-to-moment gameplay is so nightmarishly boring, so unpleasant to me. Because I know you liked it a little bit, but I never liked the moment-to-moment gameplay in this game. I never liked it, but I liked the secrets so much that I played like 50 hours of this game, 60 hours of this game, something like that.
And the secrets are just brilliant. I still think like we're definitely being way more negative on it this week than we were last week. I still think this is 100% worth your time. I think
I do too.
The secrets in this game are so magnificent.
I do think you will leave frustrated.
Discovering.
There's no doubt in my mind that every single person will walk away from this game frustrated.
There's a tipping point, and it'll be different for everyone, but there is a tipping point where you think like, okay, it's not worth to do all this just to get a little more discovery out of it.
And that's frustrating to me because like it's like there is this great game that I loved, and there's more of it. There's more of it. It's right in front of me, and you won't give it to me. Like the pure randomness, just you won't let me
reached
play
the point where I'm not actively seeking out spoilers, but like I'm not shielding myself from them.
I'm watching Northern Lion play it like without.
Yeah, well, I think he's way further behind both of us.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. But like I have seen some things where I'm like, there are things.
But yeah, there's a whole other layer that neither of us saw.
And I'm just like, that's crazy, man. Like, but like, just imagine how much friction you have to endure to even get that and then get through it.
Yeah.
Like I heard like you can remove the crates in the tunnel.
There has to be
I don't know where that
there,
leads.
Yeah.
Yeah, something's there.
Something has to be there. There's a few things. There's that statue. I don't think anybody knows yet. There's that statue on the east side of the house. And to this day, I don't think anybody has figured out yet how to get to it. And there's got to be a way to get to it in this game, you know?
And especially because like the Rumpus Room like visions.
I haven't found anything related to those at all.
You see some things in there that like that are so outside the scope of what you see in the house. I'm like, all right, these are visions of the future, so there has to be a way to get to this like this coast or whatever that you're showing me.
Like I saw, well, I think the coast might have been the station.
You think so?
I think it could have been.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could have been representative of it.
But there were a lot of things.
But there's one of like
show in the visions.
Another person coming.
That are like,
yeah, there's like an open gate, and somebody comes into the house, and they show some stuff broken. I never saw anything like that, and I never saw anything that could possibly lead to that. I'm also like, I kept finding things that I was so sure that I knew for certain, and then finding new evidence that was like, oh, was I wrong about this? Because I was certain of it. I have a whole. Have you found the treasure hoard yet? It's a room you can get.
I think so.
So the treasure
it gives you +5 gold each time you
go into it.
Additional,
and then it has a puzzle in it that's like how to get the true treasure of the treasure hoard. And I have like
because each one gives you a little note, right? Like when you open the
I have most of the puzzle, like I have most of that puzzle solved, but there's like another key that I need, and I assume that it's gonna dole me out enough hints eventually to tell me what that key is. But I don't. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna play.
Right.
A million runs just to get the treasure room every time and get this one little morsel of information that like it'd be one thing if it was because some of the puzzles I have available to me are not this frustrating. Like I have some like figuring out Cyrodiil, figuring out Nuance. That's probably something I could just work on and not like really have to think about the RNG too much.
Yeah.
Although I don't really have any leads on it.
But that, just to jump in for a sec, that's the brilliant thing about this game, where like sometimes I watch Northern Lion play it, and just through watching him go through rooms I've been in 1,000 times, I see things where I'm like, oh wow, that's like an additional hint to something I was thinking about. This is a hint that will help me complete this sigil, and he can't even see it yet because he doesn't even know what to look for, but I do.
But I just don't think I have the stamina to do it anymore. I am so fatigued with like the logic puzzles have gotten easier to me now. Like
there is a curve where like I think they peak and then they do get easier.
I thought that I had hit the peak because it's like 40. You get the trophy at 40, and I got the trophy on the billiards puzzle, and it got really easy all of a sudden. I was back down.
Yeah,
but now it is back at another even higher level than it was at its most difficult. So I walk into the billiards room and I'm just like, I don't want to do this. I'm not having
asking
fun.
you to do calculus.
I'm not having a good time. I do not know what these symbols mean. It is not intuitive to learn what the symbols meant like it was before.
That's funny.
And it's like, but if I don't get these 2 keys, I might as well turn the game off. Like, if you don't have,
and it's frustrating too because it's not just something you can look up either.
And like,
like you have to.
So that was the other frustrating thing.
Math.
I didn't think I was ever going to get the music room sanctum key, and I thought it was pure RNG. And then I looked it up, and everybody's like, "It's not pure RNG. These are the steps you do, and the sanctum key will always spawn." And I did those steps, and the sanctum key didn't spawn because it's still RNG, and you idiots just got lucky. It's not RNG.
I got very lucky.
I followed the exact same steps 3 times in a row, and on the 3rd time, I got it. So I think it helps your RNG.
I got it without even trying to get it.
But it's still random. It is a random special key every time you get the room.
It improves your odds
Yeah.
if you do it later in the day, but it's not a guarantee.
And that's so stupid. And it's like, it's unclear. Does later in the day mean time? Does later in the day mean...
I think it means time.
Number of rooms? Does later in the day mean rank?
It could have meant either,
It could mean any of those 3 things. And so I had to do all of them, and I did all of them, and then I didn't get the key. And then I had to do it again and again. And like, the time thing is so annoying to me because I hate the main gameplay of this game so much that I'm speedrunning it. And so time's not passing. And then I just have to set the controller down and walk away for a while and come back before I draft the music room. And that's like, why? Why is the good part of the game hidden behind this like mess that I hate engaging with? And that's so frustrating to me.
I'm not as frustrated as you yet, but I could easily see myself getting there. But you also have more time in the game than I do, I think.
Yeah,
so
I'm 50 or 60 hours in at this point.
Yeah,
and like,
so, you have a good bit more than me.
The calculus I like to do on a game like this is like percentage of time spent in the game playing the good part of the game, and it's probably sub 20% at this point. Like the vast majority of it is me grinding through crap I don't like.
I don't know. Like I still think this is a game of the year caliber game. I just think like. You can walk away from it at any time, right? Like
So that's the tricky part.
That is something that's on you and on me too, right? Like I'm probably gonna play this until I get even more frustrated and then put it down.
And it's a game that like encourages you to play it until you hate it, and that sucks.
Yeah. But like I think what's there is so good, and so like you see it so rarely.
Yeah.
This level of mystery, like this is like an Outer Wilds level mystery.
It is an Outer Wilds level mystery. Like mechanically,
I think Outer Wilds is a better game, but I think the mystery is equally as compelling.
I would even argue that the delivery of the mystery is almost better in Blueprints, but Outer Wilds has so many extra layers of like.
Right, I'm just talking about
just
the mystery.
Yeah, I agree with you with just the mystery. I 100% agree. I actually think, of the games I've played that do the mystery, Blueprints does it the best. Because the contenders are Noita, Tunic. I don't even know if I would include Outer Wilds, because Outer Wilds, it's so surface level. Like, Outer Wilds doesn't have anything other than, like, you have to solve the mystery to roll the credits. And in Blueprints, you do not.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
So...
I hear Obra Dinn is similar. I might check that game out.
Yeah,
I always hear good things about it.
But Obra Dinn is another one where it's surface level, I believe. Like, you have to solve the mystery to roll the credits. And I just think not requiring you to solve the mystery invites additional complexity, kind of.
But so here's why, and it could just be that I'm warmer on the game than you.
Yeah.
But like, even days where I don't play Blueprints, because like lately I've been playing Oblivion, and even before that, I think a day or two I didn't really touch it. I think about it constantly, even now. I think about it.
I was like that for a long time. Like, I was watching videos. I'm still watching Northern Lion play it, just because I hate all the other games he's playing right now.
But yeah, and to me that's the mark of a great game, because like even when I'm not playing, I do think about it and think about what I still have yet to discover, and like
I still think it's a game of the year contender, right?
Yeah.
But that word is kind of tough. Last week, if you asked me, I would have said it's a toss-up between this and Monster Hunter Wilds. I no longer think that it is at all a toss-up. Monster Hunter Wilds clears it by so much. So much. Because I still want to play Monster Hunter Wilds, and I do not want to play Blueprints anymore.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that simple. I enjoyed 100% of my time with Monster Hunter, and I enjoyed 30% of my time with Blueprints. I don't know. I still think I will probably go back to Blueprints once I'm a little less frustrated by it. Maybe read through my notes.
Maybe you just need a little break.
Because I still, I have the pieces to solve some puzzles. I'm just so frustrated with the RNG aspect of it. And I think the early game gets you past that by having so many different things you're looking for that if you just go through the house, you're going to find something. And I don't have that anymore. I'm far enough in the game.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I see online is all the people are like, oh, you're complaining about the RNG, but in my 40 runs, every single one of them has had something special. And it's like, yeah, bro, my first 40 runs had something special too. I'm on run 130 now, and
wow,
70 of them have been a waste of time.
Yeah, so you have over twice as many I do, so I can understand the frustration there. Yeah, but some of the mysteries are still very compelling to me. I what's behind that door that requires 3 microchips? What happens when you clear when you clear all the crates from the tunnel? Where does that lead? Does that lead somewhere?
It is a pog moment, by the way. When you get the microchips, it's insanely pog. I was so so hyped.
That sense, the equilibrium for me for this game is that yes, it's frustrating drafting all the rooms, but the discoveries to me that I make are still hitting so hard it compels me to grit my teeth and just do it. That's how I feel currently.
It's just the amount of time.
I might not feel the same in another 20 hours.
Yeah, it's the amount of time I've gone since my last discovery, I think, that is getting to me right now, because I think it has been 20 hours since my last discovery.
I do imagine, and I'm not sure what happens when this is complete, so don't tell me if you know, but when you solve all the sigils and you put together the map in room 46, I imagine something big happens there, because that's one of the core mysteries of the game you're solving.
Well, I imagine that's where so I'm guessing, right? But my guess is that that's where the 8th note is, the 8th red note, and that's going to be
think so,
a hint.
Because from what I understand, no one has found that 8th note.
Really, that's crazy.
And people have certainly solved this puzzle.
The other one is that's where the last sanctum key is that you use the 7 hints from the other sigils that you get to solve that, to get the final sanctum key to solve the final sigil.
I think it's...
Those are my 2 guesses, but I don't know.
In my head, right, this whole sanctum key hunt, so yes, this is all post-game technically, because it's after the credits.
Yeah.
But I still think this is
it's the real game
mystery.
Yeah.
And then I think after you do this, then you get into the end game mysteries, and I'm curious to see what those even are, because I really don't know at this point,
and how they've got to have some twist on them to make these mechanics less frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know. They could,
because if there's not,
I'm not sure.
I find it untenable. Because it's let's look at Noita. I'm not going to spoil any of the mysteries in Noita, but Noita, you get a god run, and you have to solve some mysteries kind of to get into a god run in Noita, or at least to increase your chances. But you can get so powerful in Noita that you're almost not playing the roguelike anymore. You become so powerful that you can move freely through this world, and you are very difficult to kill, so you don't have to engage with the roguelike anymore so much. And so you can just engage with the mysteries. And that's what I'm looking for in Blueprints. I'm looking for you did your 60 hours of hell. Okay, you can just draft whatever room you want now. We'll just hand you the whole deck. And if they're not willing to give me something like that, I just don't think I can finish this game.
Yeah, I don't... It would surprise me if they did.
Have you solved the chess puzzle?
No, I know what I need to do to solve it. It's just I don't have all the rooms drafted that I need at the same time, which is very annoying. So
that's surprising.
Yeah, because
there's repeats of every room.
There are, but for Queen and King, there's only 2 rooms they can spawn in, and I haven't had both of those present on one map at the same time.
That's tricky.
Yet.
Yeah.
So
I didn't realize it was that few. I knew there were. I think I have notes on all of them.
Yeah, King can spawn in
it's the office and the master bedroom. I think
the office and the master bedroom. Queen can spawn in her ladyship's chamber, and like one other room.
I don't know the other room. I only know her ladyship's chamber.
I think the study, maybe.
I would think
like there's one there's.
Oh yeah, the study. The study has a queen for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So king and queen are rare to get. Like I've had runs where I have one or the other, but not both at the same time. So
yeah,
whatever.
Anyway, I'm pretty cold on that game right now. I don't see I think I'm taking at least a week off of it to see if I can go back. I'm so frustrated, and I think part of it is that I did let it like eat me alive. Like I was getting off work, I was starting Blueprints, and I was playing it and playing it and playing it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it would just be, I got to the point where like every time I finished a run, I was like rage quitting the game. I was turning it off and walking away.
Oh no.
It got that bad. And then like 20 minutes later, I would like start itching to play again, and I would turn it back on.
Yeah. It does have. Yeah. See, it's almost like I've never really played anything like it where it's like the act of playing it, not the most fun thing in the world, right? Like you don't yearn for the gameplay, but you yearn for what lies at the end of that gameplay.
You know what?
And that's compelling enough for you to come back to it.
You know what it reminds me of a little bit is the
Maple Story.
No, what?
I don't know, like the abusive kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, a little bit. Like Mommy Nogi, maybe. No, what I was thinking of was the Reggie mystery in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. The
what's that?
You had to
the
Braille.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that puzzle is much simpler, but as a kid, it was unsolvable.
Yeah.
Like what does it mean? Yeah. What do these dots mean?
Yeah.
Anyway,
so I don't know. It's an interesting game. I don't think I'm quite done with it yet, but we'll see. Right now, I'm in full Oblivion mode, though.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I'm actually not in full Oblivion mode. I have played another game this week. Monster Hunter Wilds got its the Blossom Festival started up. Have you played this any, Mike?
No, I haven't. I've been playing Worlds.
Yeah, a lot of. You don't want to miss it though, because it has some really cool armor. Aesthetically, I guess if you don't care about that, then there's no reason to play it. But they souped up the Gathering Hub. There's a new outfit for the Handler that is apparently temporary unless you buy the DLC, which I hate that a little bit. But there's some event quests you can do, and the event quests get you items that you can do some cool like Japanese inspired Cherry Blossom Festival armor sets that are pretty cool looking. That I think I'm gonna grind out.
It's funny that that's out now because like all the Cherry Blossoms have kind of
they missed.
They're way well past their full bloom.
Yeah, it was like there's actually some on my street, and they're done. They were done like last week.
Yeah,
still fun though. Still a fun update. Couple fun event quests to do. Probably some new arena quests. I didn't look. And next week we are getting Arch-Tempered Raidou, which is going to be really cool. You got to jump back in, Ahmed. You're missing.
I know.
You're missing fire, dude.
I keep getting this. There's so many shiny things that are distracting me.
That's it. If you want to talk about Monster Hunter World for a bit,
Mike.
I finally reached the difficulty of Monster Hunter World, and it's called Elder Dragons.
Yup.
I have fought Kushaladora and Nergigante so far.
Bro, these Monster Hunter names
on both of them.
You triple carded on both of them?
Oh no, I double carded. I have not triple carded yet.
The wall for me was Teostra. Actually,
Teostra might be my wall.
I think I hit this wall. I think I was doing this on the plane
on the show
to Italy.
Oh.
Right next to you. Yeah. I was grinding Teostra to try to get armor that would make it like possible to do this.
Yeah, so far I don't think I've hit like a wall yet that I've consistently triple carded.
Have you fought Teostra yet?
No, Teostra's next, I think. Yeah. I have that and Valhazak left to do.
Valhazak sucks, dude. He's so hard.
Oh, they're so hard. Kushaladora, I triple carded or a double carded just because I was a little overconfident.
Yeah. Are you still using the Defender gear?
Yeah. It's okay. Still rocking. I need to start farming other gear, though.
Yeah.
It is at the point where I need to start killing elders, but I want to get them all unlocked first.
Yeah, Teostra was the set I made because I think it's the attack bonus set, and that's what I wanted.
Yeah, I kind of double carded on, or was it double or triple? I don't know. I didn't fail it because it was an expedition, so it didn't really matter. On Devil Joe?
Yeah.
He hits a lot harder than any of the elders have.
Hard. He's so cool. He was actually
so cool.
I think he was a title update. I think
I think he was. The pickle scares me. I was hunting a Beetlejuice recently.
Yeah,
and both of them are invader monsters.
Yeah,
so they'll invade each other.
Basiljuice isn't in Wilds, right?
Basil Juice is not in Wilds.
Basil Juice,
Neither is
for the
Devil Joe.
uninitiated, it's like a fighter jet. It like flies over top of you and drops these explosive scales around you, and you have to like.
You ever want to feel like you're in World War II European city?
Yeah.
That's how it feels to fight a Basil Juice.
I don't think anyone wants to know what that's like.
Dropped on you from the sky.
Wait till you fight a seething Basil Juice. It's crazy.
Oh my god, it's just. He just starts flying over you and dropping scales that explode, and you just have to hope you don't land near one of them.
Yeah, God, what a game!
It's such a nasty thing. It's fun to fight though. I enjoy fighting it.
So you've been to Elder's Recess now too, right?
Yeah, I've done Elder's Recess. I'm getting there. I'm getting through Worlds.
You're knocking on Iceborne's door.
Yeah,
you pretty much just
I'm getting to the point where I have to start grinding though.
You pretty much just have Teostra and like the final boss left, I think.
Yeah, the Xeno'jiiva.
Yeah, and he's like kind of a pushover compared to the elders.
Compared to the others, yeah.
Because he's a baby that you're putting down, like, fresh out of the egg.
Master Rank's going to kill me, though. I think that's where I'm going to finally hit my triple card.
Master Rank, you will probably triple card to your first hunt in Master Rank if you were struggling in Defender gear against the Elder Dragons, because for my money, the very first hunt of Master Rank is significantly harder than any of the Elder Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nergigante wasn't per se hard. It was just learning his moveset and adapting to it.
The
reason why I double carded was learning.
Nergigante is the only one you really have to keep the heat on. I really like that fight because he heals. So if you're not really wailing on him, he's just gonna heal up, and the fight's gonna go on forever.
It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the Elder fights because they are difficult and they are unforgiving. If I don't learn what they're going to do next, it's just going to kill me. And if I get overconfident, I'm going to get killed.
Have you fought Kieran yet?
I fought a low-rank Kieran for an event quest.
Right.
Dude, my brain was like, have you fought Karen yet? I was like, they made Karen a monster?
Kieran's a unicorn.
A lightning unicorn.
It's a unicorn dragon.
Oh, okay, that's actually a Japanese like folklore figure, Kieran. Yeah.
That's a lightning unicorn dragon.
You've got peak ahead of you, Mike. You have peak.
So much. I know Fatalis awaits me.
Yeah. I still haven't fought Fatalis. I don't know if I'm going to get there. I think my first Fatalis is probably going to be in 4U because that's the Monster Hunter game. I feel like once I finish up Wilds again, that's the one I think I'd go back to is 4U.
Yeah.
Because it has like 3 different Fatalis in it. It has I think it has white, black, and crimson Fatalis.
This is just my luck though. A week after I buy Worlds,
it's on sale.
It goes on sale. This happens every time.
Did you scoop up Rise?
Finally crack. Yeah, I did just scoop up Rise for $20.
Yeah, right. Did you get Sunbreak as well?
Sunbreak. Yeah, I picked up the whole set. So I have yet another 200 hours of Monster Hunter waiting in the wings for when I get bored of Worlds and Wilds.
Rise Sunbreak has such a. The end game of Rise is actually pretty boring, but the end game of Sunbreak, the anomaly investigations. It was something I felt like I could do forever. Like it felt endless to me. Because it was just like every monster in the game, but it's an anomaly version that has like a new mechanic, and they hit a lot harder, and you just have to grind your way through it all. And it was like there's like 300 levels of it. I only got to like level 120.
I am gonna complain a little bit about Worlds combat because it is older. The Charge Blade is kind of stilted.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel as fluid and natural to use as it does in Wilds.
It's only the second mainline game the Charge Blade was ever in. The Charge Blade was introduced in 4.
There's a lot of quality of life in Wilds that I've come to appreciate more because it's not in World.
I wondered how hard it would be to go backwards.
I don't know. I feel Savage Axe. Savage Axe is still cool in World.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't feel as powerful as it does in Wilds. Or Rise? I don't know. I haven't played Rise yet, but I heard Charge Blade is king.
Charge Blade's pretty strong in Rise. It's pretty good.
But I just can't wait. I have more Charge Blade ahead of me. It just sucks because there are monsters in World that I know I'm going to have to fight where Charge Blade is just going to be a handicap.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunate. I already have experienced it with Kashaladora because it flies.
Yep.
And it doesn't touch the ground.
You need
it doesn't stop moving.
You got to use the slinger. You need your sonic slinger ammo.
Do sonics work?
I know
flashes work.
I think either one will knock a flying monster out of the sky.
I might have to get some sonic pods.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the Slinger's more important in Worlds than it is in Wild.
That was the first Slinger game.
So are the Mantles.
And before that, before you had the Slinger in World, in the old games, you just throw stuff. But it was like the same, like you had sound bombs, you had flash bombs and everything, but you had to throw them with your hand.
Yeah, there's some quality of life there.
Yeah.
I don't like the sharpness meter in Worlds either. I think Wild's sharpness meter is just so much better. I like seeing it all in front of me instead of watching the meter tick down and then flop to the next quality.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
That just didn't bother me. I don't know.
It's just a presentation thing. It's a minor gripe. Like it functionally is the same, but
have you bothered to figure out
the whole meter?
Have you figured out the food system, or you just take chef's recommendation?
I just take chef's recommendation.
I never figured out the food system is so complex and
figure it out.
I never figured it out.
I don't even know what fresh ingredients means. Like, how do I get fresh ingredients? Do they just happen?
They just happen. It's random, and they give you a better bonus that day.
It's crazy.
I just took chef's recommendation for the whole game.
Yeah, it's. I have to do all the optionals too to get all the ingredients, which are gonna be a pain.
You'll be able to figure it out in Rise, though. Rise's Dango system is. I actually think it's probably the best food system they've done so far. I think it's a little better than Wild's.
Wild's was straightforward, though. I liked how straightforward Wild's was.
Dango is also extremely straightforward in that the Dango literally just says what it does.
Yeah.
There's just more variety to it. Wild's only has like a few meals, I feel like, that are worth taking, and the Dango had so much customizability.
But yeah, World's high rank, really, really scary.
It gets going. You got that pink Rathian to fight. You got the Azure Rathalos.
I already fought the pink Rathian.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably didn't cart because you were using Defender armor.
Yeah, it wasn't just that. I kind of fought enough Rathians to know their patterns.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually something fascinating. The Rathian in Wilds does pink Rathian moves. So they're probably not giving us pink Rathian in Wilds at any point. But originally some of the tail whip moves are only pink Rathian. But they just gave that to everybody. And
like Rathians are super easy to fight, at least in my experience, because once you know their tells, they're very obvious.
Pink one was not easy for me in For You or in World. But obviously the Rathian in Wilds is a pushover.
Rathaloses will still get me.
Yeah.
I did cart on an Anjanath in high rank, but partially because I was dealing with other things around me at the same time. So my focus wasn't on fighting that thing.
Right. Good series, dude. Good games.
So good. So many good games. So many things to kill.
It's funny because Connor, you ran through the Monster Hunter Gauntlet last year.
Yeah,
it looks like Mike's doing the same.
Yeah, maybe you'll hop in.
Maybe I'll do it next year.
Yeah.
There's so many Monster Hunter games to play. So little time.
Honestly, yeah.
All right, I think that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you all for listening. You can follow us at Podcast Game Talk on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Click the link in the description to join our Discord and talk to us there. And please like, rate, and review us on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, or any other podcast services you use. Thank you, Connor and Mike.
Yeah, see you guys next week.
See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.